As mentioned earlier, the lump in Sandy's breast was so small she would have never felt it. It was detected by Mahaska Health Partnership's new digital mammography machine. The hospital bought the machine in October, right before Sandy came in for her mammogram. This digital machine is a huge upgrade from the standard film machine the hospital used to have. Research shows digital machines are 15 to 28% more accurate at finding small cancers, like Sandy's, in women. Julie Hartke, Director of Radiology, explains the benefits.
The images come up almost instantaneously on our screens. They don't have to wait. They don't have the anxiety of waiting for their images to be developed, which took several minutes for each cassette prior.
Digital images are also of higher quality.
Always before on the film, it was like, okay, now just sit and wait, and we'll check the film and see if we've got what you need, or what we need to see. And this one, actually, I could sit there. When they brought me back, the second mammogram on the November 2nd, I actually seen the tumor. I could see it. I says, is that little white spot, that's what we're looking at? And she goes, yeah. So it was kind of like an instant results instead of waiting and waiting.
Digital images are also more portable, and they can be manipulated to see more detail. Hartke shows the differences between a digital image and an old film image.
This is an image taken on our new digital system. And this is the same patient on a prior year taken with screen film technology. This person has very dense breasts with different cystic type components. And you can see here there's a bunch of white patches that are all kind of consolidated, but when you go to the digital, the image is more spread out. You can see individual tiny little fibers and calcifications. You can better make out what every structure is in this breast compared to what it would be on the screen film. So that's where we're picking up the smaller detail and catching the tiny type little cancers quicker for these patients. This is a normal person's mammogram, so there's no abnormalities to point out, but this is a very good patient to show the difference between what screen film would do and what digital mammography would do for a patient.
Julie Spears, who gives and interprets mammograms at the hospital, shows a digital image with a visible breast cancer mass.
This is one of the views that we do, a standard view that we do. And when we did these images, this area that's right here, this little kind of whitish area, we can mag that up just a little bit too. This caught our interest because it's kind of got a little bit more of a whitish, fluffy looking appearance than the rest of the breast tissue. And this actually, is a breast cancer. And we were actually pretty proud of this one because probably with our old system and the way we used to do mammograms, we may not have thought that that was something that was of concern.
Just do your mammograms, because this was not there last year. I think it was Dr. Breon asked me what possessed you to come in right before the holidays, and it was like, I've never had anything before, why wouldn't I? You know, why? Just like any other year, but this year it wasn't. So just to keep up on your mammograms, and it wouldn't hurt.
According to her doctors, Sandy is cancer-free, but to be safe, she began radiation treatment in late March.
Around Thanksgiving, we did a family picture, and we'd never done that before. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cry. But I kept thinking that, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this, because I knew then, but nobody in my family knew. I've got 4 wonderful little grandchildren, and so, like I said, we found it early, and I want to whip it so that I can be around and we'll help with them and watch them grow.
Sandy is still working at the nursing home 20 hours a week, and she will be finished with radiation treatment in the middle of May.
Well, it's going pretty good. In fact, I seen the doctor today down there, Dr. Rothfuss, and he asked me if I had any nausea or anything, and I says no. And he looked at it, in fact, he looked at it today, and there's no skin irritation, no redness, no. I asked him, I says, are you sure you're doing your job here?
Sandy will be on medication for 5 years after she's finished with radiation, but she is optimistic about the future.
I guess after the surgery, I felt like I'm cancer-free. This is all precaution, and the pills is supposed to take the estrogen out, which they told me that's what fed the cancer, so hopefully that will prevent anything coming back. So to me, I guess after I came out of the surgery and figured after I got the reports and everything, I just kind of felt like, okay, I'm cured. And maybe that's the wrong way to look at things, but that's kind of how I've dealt with it and have been able to keep going.
A couple of other points we'd like to share with you. Women should get their first mammogram by age 40, and women at risk for breast cancer should get their first mammogram by age 35. Some risk factors include your age, the age at which you began menstruating, and the number of close relatives that have breast cancer. You should also check the lymph nodes in the armpit because breast cancer can show up there before ever showing up in the breast. Symptoms to look for are swelling, a new lump, irritation, redness, or pain in the armpit or breast. There are many good websites to visit for more information, including the National Cancer Institute, which has a breast cancer risk calculator. If you go to that site, you can answer some questions to find out if you are at risk for breast cancer. Other helpful websites include the American Cancer Society and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.